Ahoy, hoy, Pancasters! I'm Pavo.
And I'm Neil.
And welcome to That's No Moon.
It's a podcast.
This is your weekly dose of all your Star Wars, Marvel and DC news that you need, all wrapped up in a lovely little package, just like Neil.
Ah, you see?
And there we go. We're going to crack on straight away. What are we going to start with, Neil?
DC news.
Hey!
So, DC news. Ciaran Hinds is Steppenwolf in the new Justice League movie that's up and coming. It seems it is a motion capture performance. Andy Serkis, eat your heart out, eh? Now, Steppenwolf is the creature in some storylines, is a servant of the even more dangerous alien, Darkseid. And we have even glimpsed him briefly in a deleted scene from Batman v Superman, where Lex Luthor is seen communicating with him using the Kryptonian ship. Seems he will be playing a big part in the up-and-coming movie. Thoughts?
Yeah, I'm going to be that man. It's Ciaran Hinds, I think. Yeah.
Okay, Ciaran.
And there was another one on there. But anyway, I don't know enough about Steppenwolf apart from I thought that he was a band.
Oh, yeah. Born to be Wild.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't until I sort of looked a bit further, but he is quite badass.
Have you seen the...
I haven't seen the deleted scene.
Have you not?
No.
Yeah, that was interesting because they released that deleted scene, I think, literally a day or two after the movie came out.
Oh, right.
And everybody online went, why wasn't that in the movie? Because that sort of explained a little bit about what happened to Lex Luthor near the end of the film. Right. So it didn't make any sense why it wasn't in the film, because it explained a lot.
And it's not in the extended edition?
I think it is in the extended edition,
okay.
yeah. So I don't really know much about Steppenwolf, which in a way I'm quite happy about, because it means I'll learn it while I'm watching the film.
Always good. Well, we do learn on the superhero movies, really.
We do.
Because we're not the comic book readers.
No, we're not.
Like the comic book movies.
We're not, exactly.
Excuse me. Right, so moving on. A bit more insight into the new the Batman movie, Ben Affleck's movie. When Joe Manganiello...
Didn't we say Manganiello was what we were going to go with?
I was trying to work it out, right? Sorry if you're watching this, Joe. But it goes Manganiello.
Yeah, that's what we said. Manganiello. Didn't we say Manganiello? Right, let's start. Right, from now on, Manganiello.
All right, Manganiello.
Right? Even whether that's right or wrong, Manganiello.
Okay.
All right, that's what we're going to go for.
Manganiello.
And if Joe wants to come and talk to us and tell us exactly how to say it, we'll quite happily have him on as a guest.
Well, anyway.
Manganiello.
Yeah, there you go.
Manganiello.
Anyway, he spoke to Mark Madden on his podcast. The Deathstroke actor said, and I'm paraphrasing here, when I met Ben, we sat down and we talked about, the role. We talked about the movie, his take. It's a fresh take, and I think the audience is going to be surprised, because it's a road that no one really has gone down before, and it's completely integral to who Batman is. I think it's going to be refreshing, but at the same time completely familiar. But it's going to take this franchise in a direction that I think a lot of people are going to be really happy about. It's going to be gritty and action-packed, cerebral, and all of those elements that people love about Batman. I told him in the room, man, when I met him, I should be so lucky. I'd be in great hands to work with you. I love your movie, let's do this. Which is nice. So, I thought, well, I'm going to have a look what the rumours are after what he said. And one of the biggest rumours about this upcoming movie is it's going to feature the death of Robin.
Yeah, there's a lot of rumours going on. The other rumour is that there's going to be a lot of Batman villains in this.
Right. And
again, one of the rumours. I'm not substantiating it. I know
no.
I know nothing. But is that Batman is going to be plonked into Arkham Asylum with all of the...
Oh, right, the movie game.
And the game.
Like
the game, and it's basically going to be him fighting his way out of Arkham Asylum.
The Raid style, Judge Dredd
But wouldn't that'd be fantastic.
That'd be great, as long as they up the ante and make it R-rated.
Yeah, but they don't... they don't need to... it doesn't... I mean, like, they could have 5 or 6 villains, but the villains are only in it for like 2 minutes. He could walk past and... The Penguin is in a... do you know what I mean? It doesn't need to be...
It could be like... have you ever seen the Bruce Lee movie, Game of Death, where he has to go up the levels?
No, but that's the same sort of thing as Raid, isn't it?
Yeah, but each level's got like the bad guy on it, like a boss. So like a computer game, and if they were to write it, it could be really good.
Yeah.
It could take what the Raid and Judge Dredd was like up to the next stage.
Yeah.
Because each time he's having to beat a...
Because something like that could even be a movie in real time. It could be set in real time. It could be a 2-hour thing where he's... Because I believe the character, is it Deathstroke? That Joe Manganiello is playing? Yeah, right. Is apparently on par in a match in brains and in strength to Batman.
Yeah.
So you can imagine that maybe somebody pays him to defeat Batman, pick him up, and then chuck him into Arkham Asylum, and then they've got 2 hours of him trying to get out of Arkham Asylum alive.
Oh, it could be mad.
It'd be great.
It would be fantastic.
If you could get a superhero Raid movie... Which hasn't, I don't think... That's
well, Judge Dredd, I suppose.
Yeah,
comic book
that's comic book. But I mean, like a mainstream... I think that would be amazing. And it'd be completely different. It'd be something completely different. It doesn't have to be set in, the Justice League. It's just one thing that Batman has to do. One case.
I mean, I've said this about movies. They're so concentrated, on making threads through the stories. So they have to be linked. And go back to having a standalone movie. There is no need to worry about threads. I know we don't talk about this franchise, but James Bond being another one. Go back to where he just walks into M's office, gets a mission, and off he goes.
Yeah, I don't want to know his backstory.
No, not me.
Because I always loved the thought that James Bond could be a code name. And that's why he's gone on for 50 years.
Yeah.
Because... So the James Bond gives up, retires, or dies, and then another person comes in and takes the mantle. Yeah. That's why he can walk into a casino or a bar and go, "I'm James Bond," and everyone sort of goes, "Ah, yes, the spy," and they don't really know who he is because he changes all the time. Yeah. I don't want to see that he had friends when he was a kid and they know him from being a kid and stuff like that. Anyway, we digress. So, should we move on to some Star Wars? Let's do some Star Wars news. Okay, Samuel L. Jackson has spoken out about the fan... Now, have you seen all these fan theories about who Snoke is? I saw one about Mace Windu. Yeah, so there's one about Boba Fett, and there's one about Mace Windu, and there's one saying that he's Ezra from Rebels. Right. That he's... Grand Moff Tarkin, that he's Anakin, because of the... Like, there's a scar going down his head, and it's the same place as where the Anakin is. And the thing is, you go on YouTube, and some of them are... You sort of think, that's not a bad theory, but the one about not a bad theory. You have to do it straight. Yeah, but the one about Mace Windu is Snoke. Samuel L. Jackson was actually questioned on it, and he basically said, and I quote, "I'm not a part of that rumour or theory. I'd like for Mace Windu to just be Mace Windu. I'm of the idea that Jedi can fall from enormous heights and still survive, and the fact that he cut his hand off is not a big deal. There are a lot of one-handed Jedi and people with robotic or enhanced hands in that world, so hopefully I can be one of those." Where do you stand on Snoke? It's a very general question, and we don't know much about Snoke. No. But at this point, where do you stand on who Snoke is? Or could it be that he has absolutely no link with anyone whatsoever? It could be. I mean, the only one that I sort of think they might go down that route is Darth Plagueis, isn't it? That's the only one that I think would hold credit to it in the Star Wars universe. If it's suddenly like Anakin or Mace Windu or people like that you've sort of said your farewells to, I think no. I do think it would be if it would make the prequels feel a bit more. It had a bit more of an edge to it if you thought that all of the stuff that Darth Sidious Palpatine did to manoeuvre himself to become the Emperor, and if there was then years and years later there was actually somebody that was his puppet master, without him really knowing it, somebody that he thought he'd killed, like his master, that had actually been overseeing all of it for 50 years, which sort of it would make you watch the prequels in a different light. Yeah, absolutely, I agree with that. But that's the only. I mean, to me, if I was on the Star Wars panel or anything to do with the writing brigade, I would say to them, look, you either have him as just a new character and he is just a baddie, or Darth Plagueis, and do what you exactly said. Bring it all in. I think so. And secondly, in the Star Wars news, Eddie Redmayne, who's going to be in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them in a couple of weeks' time.
A couple of weeks, yeah.
Actually said in an interview with Uprocks, he spoke in depth about his audition for The Force Awakens. He doesn't actually know who he was auditioning for, because they never actually gave him a Star Wars scene to do. It was actually a Star Trek scene. But he believes that it was Kylo Ren. That was who that he was auditioning for. I could
see him being a Kylo Ren.
Absolutely. So what he said was, he said, I was going for, I think, Adam Driver's part. They gave me a Star Trek scene, or like something from Pride and Prejudice. It was one of those films, with films that top secret, they don't give you the actual lines. So they give you a scene from Pride and Prejudice, and then they tell you you're auditioning for the baddie. If you tell me, if you're me, you then put some ridiculous voice on. Right. Now, I've not seen, what was the Wachowski movie?
Oh, what, Jupiter Ascending?
Yeah, he was apparently the baddie in that. And
yeah,
it was
and he
quite
was very
bad.
Well, some people, it's a mixed school on this, because he's pantomime bad.
Right.
I mean, I've only seen clips of him because I needed to have a look. He plays, it's ridiculous, it's over the top. So some people have gone against it, whereas some people like it because it is such a big pantomime villain. It just depends on where you stand, but he has got a ridiculous voice and everything in it. But it's all, you can see it's all done on purpose. So
could you have seen him as somebody that could have done?
Yeah, I think
Kylo
so.
Ren?
Just by looking at him, I think so. I think he could have been Kylo.
Because they were talking about, in the same report that I saw online, that he may have been more leaning towards Hux, General Hux, that Donald Gleeson played.
Which was, he was a bit of a non-entity. Really.
He didn't really have that much to do, did he? But he was like the opposite of Kylo Ren, wasn't he? Fighting for Snoke's affections, if you like. But interesting. It's interesting to see the sort of people that they were tapping up to be in the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, an Oscar winner, and he never even made it.
No.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I could see him doing it, but I think they knew what they were doing, because I think Adam Driver was the perfect role. If it was so. That, you know, if it was for Kylo Ren. Yeah. Right, Marvel news.
Oh.
Michael Giacchino, who will compose the score to Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, after the success of Doctor Strange, which he was just out recently, and he did, he was replacing Alexandra Desplat. How do you pronounce that, then?
Desplat, I would say.
Yeah. It seems that this composer is the man to go to at the moment. I wonder what he will achieve with the classic Spider-Man theme, whether he'll use it.
Whether he will.
I think he'll do a take on it.
Well, because I think he took over from Alexander Desplat in Rogue One. That's who he's taken over from for that. So he is. I'm pretty sure he's going to be the successor to John Williams when it comes to the Star Wars movies, because he's obviously done a lot with J.J. Abrams, the Star Trek theme, which I think is really good. Yeah. The one thing about all of the Marvel movies is they don't seem to have apart from Avengers, they don't seem to have
striking
music, like if I said you give me Thor's theme or Iron Man's theme, I wouldn't know it off the top of my head.
Well, to be fair, when they've had to use somebody else's Iron Man theme, when you think of Iron Man from the first movie, you think of the Black Sabbath song. Yeah. You don't think of an actual score that was written. So I think it's a great choice. I think he's going to, like you said, he could be the next John Williams, Hans Zimmer, and that. So he's going to be at the top of his game now, isn't he? That's why people are going to him.
He is.
So, Netflix. You've watched Luke Cage. I have to catch up. It has now been confirmed that Elodie Young will be returning as ELEKRA in Marvel's upcoming TV series on Netflix, The Defenders.
Okay.
So, obviously, at the end of Daredevil, spoiler alert, she died, and then was put in the what do we like to call it? The tomb, where she was resurrected.
People are resurrected. Sarcophagus kind of thing.
Yeah. So somebody will shout us down and say it's this.
I'm sure it will have a specific name.
Now, with the ever-expanding cast on this, The Defenders, it's looking like it's going to be TV's answer to The Avengers, isn't it? I think it's going to be their biggest TV series to date, because John Bernthal is now confirmed he's in it, which they've just started pre-production on his TV series as well.
I think they've started filming.
They have started
filming. Because I'm sure they're saying that next year there will be 3 Marvel Netflix TV series.
No, yeah, right.
So you'll have Iron Fist, you'll have the Punisher and
then the Defenders. So they said the Defenders are only going to be 8 episodes.
Yeah, it's not going to be a long.
No, long and then they've confirmed that Daredevil Series 3 is straight after the Defenders. So.
And Sigourney Weaver is
the villain.
Is the villain, which will be interesting.
Yeah. So that could be really, really good. And I hope, we said it a few episodes ago, that with these Netflix, we get some crossovers from the movies into
I really don't think they're going to do it. I think it's...
It only has to be a cameo. It doesn't have to be a full-on thing.
What, for the Defenders in Avengers or the other way around?
Well, no, just one of the, like, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, just making a cameo, just to, you know... Like in New York, Spidey, why not see his web somewhere? Like we said before.
Just something like that.
Just those sort of little... that we still know are in the universe. I know they keep talking about the New York incident, but how long can we keep talking about that? So just that thing where you just see Spidey spin across the back. He's off onto one of his adventures. But I love the Netflix Marvel TV series.
So if that's the case, why haven't you watched Luke Cage yet?
Other TV series are Walking Dead and
I know, but I would say that for me at the moment, Luke Cage rivals Daredevil 2 as the best series so far.
Too many TV series. But it's like... And I was like... When I rattled through the Daredevil Series 2... I felt really gutted because there was nothing left to watch.
Right.
So I'm going to be completely honest, and I do this a lot, and people get frustrated with me, especially my kids, when I record a TV series. I take ages to watch it because I don't want it to end if I know it's going to be good.
But then you should be careful what you wish for, because when you do watch it and it hasn't, you've got all this stuff you need to watch now.
Yeah. It's only Luke Cage now.
Just started watching Westworld.
Oh yeah,
and that
I'm recording it all.
It's there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, but it's very good.
Yeah, everybody's raving about that one.
Good.
And well, I've missed the Exorcist one, so I'm just going to wait and then catch up with that one.
Yeah.
You watched any of those?
I watched a little bit of the first episode. My wife's going through and watching that. But,
did she like it?
I think so. I think so. Well, there you go. That's all the news you need for this week. For this week. Oh dear. So Neil.
Yes.
Do you want to do a little bit of housekeeping?
Absolutely. Do you know what? If you're watching this now, feel free to leave a comment below. Would be most appreciated to you to be doing it. Also, if you haven't already done so, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're all friends. Come on over. Come and be our friends. But if you don't want to do YouTube and you still want to get in contact with us, there is an easy way. You just email us at pancast@live.com. Sorry, that's pancast@live.com.
That's it. Yes, and we also do a weekly movie show on the radio. Well, it's on the internet, but we call it the Pancast Movie Show. You can get that on Mixcloud, and you can also get it on iTunes if you just search Pancast. You can see all the different podcasts that we do, but that's the one that we do every week. It's myself, Neil, and the lovely Loz, and sometimes we have guests and we have just an hour of fun, a bit of music. If you want to listen to the songs, then please go and download or listen on Mixcloud. If you just want it without the songs clipped out, then come to iTunes.
So you can find all of that at pancast.co.uk.
Indeed.
All under one umbrella.
Indeed you can. So that's it from me, Pavo.
And me, Neil.
May the force of Thor's hammer keep you Superman.